Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel. It is Binky here today and we are doing another Snif perfume. Thank you to my friend. She's let me borrow most of them. She has, I think, all of the secret ones. So, I don't know. So, this one is Soda Snob. And apparently it smells like cola, which is kind of in itself exciting. So I don't really drink soda at all. It's just not my thing. But I used to drink it and I know the smell really well. I used to drink a lot of it, especially when I was a teenager. Man, the things I did to my body back then. So there you go. So this is what it looks like. Of course, it's kind of like a little bit of a book. And look at this. It moves. I don't know if it's picking up. This is what it looks like. And you'll notice it moves around. Hopefully it's showing up. Now, my 7-year-old self is just loving this. My 7-year-old self is just like, what? Go on, inner child. So, yes, let's check out the notes on this one. Okay, so here we go. It's a sip of excellence. Soda Snob. So $65 is how much this will cost you. Experience the euphoric taste of crisp, creamy carbonation infused with rich caramel and zesty citrus. The scent celebrates the perfect fizziness that sets the soda enthusiasts apart from the pop novices. Well, I would be a pop novice. I don't drink it. I don't drink any soda any longer, just fizzy water. So there you go. Smells like fizzy lime, cinnamon, secret cola accord, and jasmine, caramel, and vanilla. So there you go. And they want you to know premium high quality ingredients, non-toxic, clean, vegan, cruelty free. There you go. So let's check this out. And I like to look at the photos a little bit, but it's not letting me. Oh, my head butting me. She's really needy. She's really needy today, and that's okay. We all have our days. So, I know, you're so cute though. Soda Snob. This is what it looks like. This is what the packaging will look like. In case you weren't interested, they all come in something like this. And, you know, the packaging's, it's not the most luxe, but a lot of people don't care. Like I always say, it's about what's on the inside. So, you know, yes, we like the outside package, but as you get to know something better, you don't care so much. So there you go. So let's see. Yeah, you can smell a little bit of something. It smells almost like smoky. 1, 2, 1, 2. And I did it here just because I could. It's gonna look like I'm smelling my armpit. Fantastic. Ooh. Huh. Okay, so this one's very lemony at first. Very lemony. It has, I could see where they're getting the cola fizz, but it's like a lemon caramel at first. That's interesting. And then it slowly evolves into like a soda note. Wow, that's interesting. That's really interesting. And there's a floral in there, which is strange because did it say there was a floral? I always read these off and I never pay attention. That's right. Yeah, there is. That's what that is. It's cinnamon. Why would you put cinnamon in that? That's interesting. Not that it's bad. So it was a blast of lemon, cinnamon, caramel, and now it's slowly morphing into like a cola. And you do get that jasmine. Huh. So what's interesting about this, and because I really don't know much about this line at all, I really don't. My friend suggested this. So what I'm finding is Snif will do profiles, especially in the secret menu, but instead of being obvious, like you'd expect this to be cola, it's not just cola, because I guess that's something that would be more of a Demeter fragrances. Let me tell you, Demeter was like everything I wanted when I was a teenager. Somebody told me about it and I went, what? I can smell like dirt? Yeah, I freaking love the idea of Demeter, but they're more of like layering scents. And they tend to sometimes be very one note to create a certain environment. So I expected that of Snif, but that's not what I'm getting. So it's more of, this is what we want you to be into soda and cola, but guess what? There's a little twist on it. And that's what's happening with this. Very interesting. So I definitely get cola, like the idea of it, but every time I get that cola wafting past me, another scent pops out. This one's really interesting. Oh, it's so lemony. On my hand, on my skin, it's very lemony and fizzy. I get that fizzy of it and that lemon. The lemon is very strong on my arm, on my chemistry. Very interesting. I hate to say this. It kind of smells like Pledge. Now, a lot of people aren't going to know what Pledge is. The only reason I know what Pledge is, trust me, I don't have that kind of wood around my my apartment, but like plywood, is that what it is? Particle wood, particle board. So basically what it is, except for that's real wood, and that cost me some. So my grandparents used to have like antiques, and so they would wipe down everything with Pledge. And so it's this lemony moisturizing like spray for wood to keep it supple and shiny and nice. That's what this smells like. It smells like lemon Pledge. Interesting. That took me back. So yeah, now I am definitely getting a soda smell, and I think it's probably from here, but let me check. So I'm actually getting the soda scent from here. So lemon from here and actual soda from here. That's very interesting. So when you move around, you're getting this lemon soda with cinnamon notes. I mean, it definitely smells like cola. I'm definitely getting the cola, but I'm getting the lemon on my chemistry, and then soda and cinnamon here on the shirt. Very strange, that cinnamon cola accord, because I never really thought about cinnamon being part of cola, but it's kind of like a cola but elevated. But I mean, I know some people do this, they put lemon in their soda. I never understood it, but no, even like Coca-Cola or whatever, or cola in general, I don't call it cola, I call it pop. There you go. What do you call it? Some people call it soda, cola, or pop. I call it pop. But this one is specifically a cola. So I definitely, it's so strange just to have the lemon with the cinnamon and that cola accord. Very strange. So it's actually quite nice. I don't want to kind of dismiss it and go, It's actually very interesting. I kind of like it in a strange way. There's almost like a little bit of a smokiness to it, which is so odd. Why would there be a smokiness? But I could smell it through the lid too once I pulled this off. There's like a smokiness. And I don't know where that's coming from, because that is really odd, because that was not listed, but it's very interesting. Fizzy. Well, they're saying lime. That does not smell like lime to me. It smells like lemon Pledge, but okay. Get the cinnamon, get the secret cola accord. Jasmine I got initially, not so much at the moment. Caramel and vanilla, yeah, they're there. It's just the first blast was definitely caramel and vanilla, but it was more caramel, but I could see the mix. But I'm getting a smokiness from that cola, which is very interesting. Lemon, cinnamon, cola, smoky cola. Wow, that's really intriguing actually. This one's actually kind of cool and not what I expected. This one actually, unlike Sweet Tooth, this one has a little bit more dimension to it. I feel like it's a little bit, the complexity is a little bit more, it's just there more than the other. The other one was a bit more one note, while this is really interesting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to sit with this one. I may check back in an hour. I didn't with Sweet Tooth just because it didn't change that much, but I may do it. But that smokiness is so strange. So we'll see. I'll either come back in an hour if it changes a lot, or I'll come back at the end when it starts to disappear, and we will talk about what happened with this one. But very intriguing. Okay, so it has been about 4 hours. I didn't check in at the hour mark because I do feel that the Snif fragrances don't tend to morph too much after the initial first hour. So that's why I'm not doing that with this series. So this one's interesting. There's more complexity than the last one, which was the Sweet Tooth, for sure. A lot more complexity, but that changes. Like I said, after the first hour, it kind of stays where it is, and it doesn't change from there. The only thing that changes is how strong the scent is. So I did 2 here and then 2 on my clothing. Now, when I move around, I still do get whiffs of it. So I probably could go another hour, but I don't know if I would, just because it's very light. So if you don't mind it turning into a very personal scent, then you wouldn't need to upkeep it. But if you wanted a stronger scent again, then you would need to respray this to bring it back to its former glory, because at the 4-hour mark, it needs a little bit of help. I'm finding with, so far the 2 I've tried, there's not necessarily a lot of longevity with these, so you're gonna need to spruce them up. Now, some people don't care, you know, they really don't. Some people like that it gets light like this and then it becomes a me scent, and that's awesome. So it just depends what you want. If you want more of a blast and to be able to smell it as strong as it was before, you're gonna have to refresh it around the 4-hour mark. So there you go. As far as the scent, so while I was doing what I do today, I definitely could smell this. Now, I could see how some people might see this one as being a little bit cloying. And what I mean by that is it becomes very syrupy after the initial hour. It's almost like, without the carbonation, if you've ever smelled just the soda without the carbonation, the syrup of it, that's what it smells like cola syrup before you blast it with the CO2. So that's what I'm getting. It's almost like that flat soda, or where it's not even a soda yet, it's just the syrup. You get a heavy amount of that. So it becomes very syrupy and sweet. So for some people, if they're not big into gourmands, that may be a deal breaker. So that citrus note kind of dissipates, that cinnamon note dissipates, and so it's a lot of, it's syrupy. That's what's left. With a little hint of jasmine. I actually still get the jasmine when I move, so it's that syrup and then underlying jasmine, which is very interesting actually. So cola syrup with like vanilla and caramel, I think, because I think that is part of the component of the cola. So very sweet. It's very interesting though, because you do get that cola vibe with it. So I do find this one very interesting, actually. It is. This one is very intriguing. It was kind of a little bit of a mind boop, because I kept thinking about it a lot, going, is that cola? I mean, and if you're interested in that kind of scent, this one actually is pretty fun. It kind of nails it, but it's definitely strange, but in that way. But let's try it here on the wrist. Yeah, I definitely get that syrupy cola there. With a little bit of that jasmine underneath, just very little. So it's cola, very syrupy cola, not the fizzy. The fizzy has disappeared. It was there in the first hour, but then they did capture the fizziness, but that goes away. And then a little bit of jasmine, but let's try it on the clothing. Okay, on the clothing, I'm definitely getting that cola as well, and a little bit of that jasmine. Like I said, it doesn't really morph that much. So once it's on, it's just kind of on. After the hour mark, it really does solidify. So that's why I'm not checking in as much, because there's really no reason to. If it did morph quite a lot, I'd jump back on and let you know. But that's pretty much how it's working on my chemistry. So it's interesting. So how do I feel about this one? I feel like if you love cola scents or are into unique gourmands, this one is perfect for you. If you love sweet fragrances, this would be perfect for you. If you don't like those things, you may want to skip this one, but as I always say, you can get the sample set and try it yourself. I would recommend that maybe this is more of a fall scent I could see how this time of year, being in the hot, humid weather, this could be really cloying after a while. And it's a hot day today, and it's kind of like, ooh, around this time of year, I want something a little bit more refreshing and light to get me through those days, and I'm definitely very much still aware of this one, and part of it is because it's so sweet. So if I were going to wear this one again, I'd probably wear it a little bit lower, not here per se, wear it here, so that I'm getting whiffs of it, not constantly, because that sweetness is a lot sometimes. And I actually like gourmand scents, but I just think it would do a lot better down a little bit further, or, you know, like on the back or something like that. And I do sometimes do that, not on the neck, sometimes I will, but I'll put it on the back of the shirt, or like near the pant area. If I will do that with certain scents to make them work. But I think it's really fantastic. I don't want you to think that I don't like it, because I actually do like it, but I can also see how this isn't something I would reach for all the time, because I mean, it could be a lot, and maybe it's just the weather we're in. So yeah, but I think this is a really fun fragrance. I really do. I think I do have a sample of this, but I've been using my friend's stuff rather than using the sampler, which I think is pretty anyway. So there you go. It's just, yeah, I think these are really fun. They're just kind of, I don't know, they're just fun scents. They're not to be taken too seriously, and I think that's what's kind of the charm of this. But they may not be for everyone because of that. Maybe they're a little bit too like, what? So I get it. You know, it just depends what you're looking for in a fragrance. But definitely fun, this one. So if I were going to rate Soda Snob, where would I put this? I think I would give this one, let me think, probably about a 7. I had to think it over, and the only reason is I really love the opening. The opening is fantastic with that fizzy cola scent, and then with that brightness of the citrus and the cinnamon. They cut through that syrup, and it's just absolutely fantastic. After the dry down, it is very syrupy, so we could see how that would be a lot after a while. And so for me, it's not something that I would reach for all the time. But that being said, I really do like it. You kind of have to be in the mood for it, you know. And I think that's with a lot of gourmands, because they could really overtake the day, and you're just like, whoa. So that could happen with this one a little bit. So it can go a little bit, and that's what I'm finding so far with the two I've tried, that after the initial blast, they can be just a little bit simple, or kind of one note a little bit, and there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't mean that in a negative way. You know, this doesn't necessarily have the complexity of other brands, and I don't mean that in a negative way. I really don't, because I like wearing vanilla scents, or just vanilla by itself. I'm known to do that all the time. I love that stuff. Sometimes you don't want too much. You just want something simple and out the door. So this would be perfect for that. But I really think cooler weather would do it a little bit better, a little bit sweet for this time of year. But that's just me. You wear what you want when you want, all day, every day. So there you go. This one's really nice. I do enjoy it. I mean, I know I wanted to smell like cola, but here we are. I'm fine with smelling like cola. So there you go. That is our second scent from the secret menu from Snif. And with that, have a fabulous day, my friends. Bye.